This week in Jamaica Now, the Holness Administration for the third term has taken shape with a 19-member cabinet. Dr. Andrew Wheatley and Robert Montague, who resigned from past cabinets amid controversy, are back. The Queen's School in mourning after an 18-year-old student was shot dead in a home invasion, and Bryan and Shericka Jackson win 200-meter bronze as Jamaica reels in 8 medals so far at the World Championships. I'm Jovan Johnson and this is Jamaica Now. Taxpayers will fork out almost $700 million annually to cover the salaries of Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness's 33-member executive team. The Prime Minister tops the pay scale at $28.6 million, while the Deputy Prime Minister earns $25.7 million and the Finance Minister $24.6 million. It's unclear whether Dr. Holness will accept the huge salary package. In 2023, he declined the 214% increase in his salary approved in the National Compensation Review. He opted to continue receiving his $9.1 million salary. 16 other cabinet ministers each earned $22.8 million, together accounting for about $364.8 million. That brings the cabinet's bill to roughly $443.7 million a year. The 13 state ministers will collectively cost $237.9 million, with each receiving $18.3 million annually. Meanwhile, a parliamentary secretary who assists a minister will be paid $17.2 million a year. In total, the salary bill for the Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers, State Ministers and the Parliamentary Secretary amounts to $698.8 million annually. Under the new salaries for the public sector workers, certain allowances were rolled into basic salaries. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has set an ambitious agenda for his new term, pledging bold policies to fast-track Jamaica's sluggish economy while ensuring growth that is inclusive and sustainable. He made the declaration to hundreds gathered at King's House on Tuesday, where he was sworn in for a 4th time.
I, Andrew Michael Holness, do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and the laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica.
In his address, Dr. Holness said Jamaica's unmatched cultural influence must now be matched by economic strength. He promised growth that lifts families out of poverty.
This is the vision of a Jamaica not only surviving and overcoming, but a Jamaica that thrives and inspires, a Jamaica that seizes its destiny of greatness. For hope has been rekindled, confidence restored, and Jamaica can now stand tall. The vision of this government in this next chapter is to spur economic growth. Growth that lifts every household across the length and breadth of Jamaica out of absolute poverty. Sustained economic growth will end absolute poverty in Jamaica. We can and we will end absolute poverty in Jamaica. We want growth that gives every child the opportunity to dream and achieve, no matter where they are born or their surname. Growth that reaches the trying mother who can send all her children to university without facing crippling debt or having to choose between firstborn or secondborn.
Dr. Holness also pointed to creative industries such as music, film, fashion and sport as new engines of growth, while pledging to anchor Jamaica as a logistics hub through transformational projects, including the Caymanas Special Economic Zone. And Dr. Holness has pushed back against suggestions that he should step aside for new leadership, declaring that his work is far from finished. He also highlighted reductions in crime, poverty and unemployment during his last administration. But he said Jamaica's journey is not yet complete.
My fellow Jamaicans, There are those who say, Prime Minister, you have achieved so much, you have nothing left to prove. It is time to hand over the baton. I hear you, I hear those voices, but I also hear another voice. The voice of Jamaica itself. The voice that says we are not yet where we need to be. The voice that says we are destined for more. The voice that says our children deserve to inherit not just hope but opportunity, not just survival but success, not just resilience but prosperity. This term is not about me proving that we can build. We have already proven that. There is much more to build, and I am here to build it.
And opposition leader Mark Golding got his chance to respond to Dr. Holness's swearing-in comments on Thursday when MPs took their oath in the new parliament. He congratulated the JLP for its general election victory and accepted Dr. Holness's call to unity.
Unity is strength, and we must all strive for it. However, it cannot be achieved by platitudes or just empty words. One hand can't clap. And it is important, if we want to build consensus around important topics, that there be some action, some actual tangible effort to achieve consensus. And the events that have taken place here today, I don't think augur well in that regard. We have heard from the Prime Minister that he wants to pursue the constitutional reform effort further. And we do also want to see Jamaica move from the vestiges of colonialism, which are still very much present in our existing constitutional arrangements, and achieve full decolonization, which is long overdue. For that to happen, there needs to be consensus around certain critical things that we regard as fundamental to this exercise. And we don't feel that any effort has really been made to achieve such consensus thus far. And I look forward to seeing whether or not that will in fact take place going forward.
Dr. Holness's Jamaica Labour Party secured 35 of the 63 seats in the House of Representatives in the September 3 general election, with the PNP taking 28. And the Prime Minister also warned colleagues that a third consecutive term is no reason for complacency.
The third term is not a laurel to rest upon. It is a summons to continue to serve with vision, wisdom, and integrity, more diligently, more inclusively, with even greater urgency.
The swearing-in was presided over by Governor-General Sir Patrick Allen, who told Dr. Holness that leadership was a privilege. And the new cabinet is now in place, comprising mostly returning ministers, with Dr. Andrew Wheatley, a key ally of Dr. Holness, and JLP Chairman Robert Montague making a return. The notable absence was MP Marlene Malahoo Fort, the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs in the last term. Her ministry has now been joined with the Justice Ministry, to which Delroy Chuck has been reappointed minister. Dr. Wheatley and Mr. Montague will not have their own ministries, but will work under the supervision of Dr. Holness as ministers without portfolio. Prime Minister Holness is Minister of Defence and Minister of Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development. Dr. Wheatley is Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, responsible for science, technology and special projects. He resigned from the Cabinet in 2018 to allow for the issues surrounding the management of the Energy, Science and Technology portfolio to be ventilated. Mr. Montague has been named Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development, responsible for land titling and settlements. He resigned in 2022 in the wake of a damning Integrity Commission report on the Firearm Licensing Authority. Meanwhile, Matthew Samuda is now Minister of Water, Environment and Climate Change, a change from his previous appointment as a minister without portfolio. The ministers were sworn in on Tuesday at King's House in St. Andrew. Governor-General Sir Patrick Allen told the cabinet members their service must be marked by diligence, transparency and the genuine desire to uplift the most vulnerable. And Member of Parliament for St. Andrew East Rural Juliet Holness has been returned as the Speaker of the House of Representatives for the new term. The parliamentary opposition had said it would not support her reappointment. However, the ruling Jamaica Labour Party said the government would not be bullied on the matter. The opposition PNP had asserted that in recent years, serious concerns have arisen regarding the manner in which the business of the House had been conducted. It said there were what it called obfuscation and inordinate delays in the tabling of critical reports to Parliament from the Auditor General and the Integrity Commission under the leadership of successive speakers, despite advice to the contrary from the Attorney General's chambers. However, JLP General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang hit back, saying they were baseless and spurious concerns, and that the opposition's comments on the matter were out of order and most inappropriate. In her remarks following her swearing-in, Mrs. Holness, who is also the wife of the Prime Minister, said now that the elections are over, members of the Parliament should come together to work on behalf of the Jamaican people.
The Speaker does not make the rules, but humbly and, if necessarily, firmly ensures that they are followed by all members without fear or favour. It is with this in mind that I will continue with our partnership within the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association for the comprehensive review of the standing orders for the Houses of Representatives to plug any gaps identified, modernize procedures, and give clearer guidance on complex processes. This redraft will soon be placed before the Standing Orders Committee for vetting and deliberation before it is tabled in the House.
St. James Central MP Heroy Clark was also sworn in as Deputy Speaker. Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining Minister Floyd Green's rise in the Holness Administration took a new step up as well. He's now the leader of government business in the House of Representatives, replacing Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett. Philip Paulwell has been returned as a leader of opposition business. Meanwhile, MP Everald Warmington appeared to have broken with tradition when he did not shake the hands of the Speaker after taking his oath. He also did not acknowledge the Prime Minister. Mr. Warmington was not named in the executive. This was Mr. Warmington in 2020 after taking his oath.
I, Clifford Everald Warmington, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of Jamaica, and I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God.
Marlene, Patricia.
No, I don't sign yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. So sorry.
You must pay attention.
And this was Mr. Warmington on Thursday.
I, Clifford Everald Warmington, on behalf of the people of Southwest St. Catherine, from whom only, I do swear that I will faithfully and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, that I will uphold and defend the constitutional laws of Jamaica, and I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibility to the people of Jamaica. So help me God.
In the upper house, or the Senate, King's Counsel Tom Tavares-Finson was re-elected president, with Charles Sinclair his deputy. Several new senators were also sworn in on both government and opposition benches. Former president of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica and head of the JMMB Financial Services Company, Keith Duncan, was among 3 new government senators. Mr. Duncan is the son of late PNP stalwart D.K. Duncan. The other 2 JLP senators are attorney Rosemary Bennett Cooper. She has also served in the public sector through membership on several boards. She recently represented Juliet Holness's company in a land dispute, which it won in the Supreme Court. Attorney Christian Tavares-Finson, the son of the Senate President, was also sworn in. He captured attention earlier this year over his interest in being the JLP's standard bearer in St. Andrew North Central, a nod that eventually went to now MP Delano Seavright. On the opposition's side, there were 5 new faces. They include Chief Executive Officer of Berita Investments Limited, Ramon Small Ferguson, who is the son of former PNP Cabinet Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson, economist Cleveland Tomlinson, the youngest member of the chamber at 25, and political scientist Dr. Maziki Fame, who is a senior lecturer at the University of the West Indies, are also on the opposition side. The other 2 are business executive Kisha Gay Anderson and community advocate and development practitioner Alan Bernard, who lost in the recent general election. Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith remains the leader of government business in the Senate, while Donna Scott-Motley has taken over as the leader on the opposition side. 13 ministers of state or junior ministers have been appointed to work with the portfolio ministers in government. Member of Parliament for Manchester Central Rhoda Moy Crawford, former House Speaker Marissa Dalrymple-Philibert and Senator Abka Fitzhenley are among the new junior ministers announced on Friday. Ms. Crawford takes up duties in education, skills, youth and information. Mrs. Dalrymple-Philibert will serve at Justice and Constitutional Affairs, while Mr. Fitzhenley is assigned to the Office of the Prime Minister. Other appointments include Tova Hamilton at Tourism, Donovan Williams at Labour and Social Security, Kerencia Morrison at Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Crystal Lee at Health and Wellness. Delroy Williams is at Local Government, while Delano Seavride is at the Industry and Commerce Ministry. Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn returns to the National Security Portfolio. Orlando Terrelong remains at Foreign Affairs, and so too do Xavier Main at Finance and Frank Witter at Agriculture. Meanwhile, Senator Marlon Morgan has been named Parliamentary Secretary in the Education Ministry. The People's National Party says its candidate for St Andrew West Central, Paul Buchanan, has filed an application with the Constituted Authority to cancel the September 3 poll in the constituency. Mr. Buchanan lost to the Jamaica Labour Party leader Dr. Andrew Holness, who secured 7,054 votes to his 4,953. The PNP says Mr. Buchanan's application cites several irregularities including violence, intimidation, voter suppression and alleged breaches at polling stations in Olympic Gardens and Malines Gardens. It also raised concern about the late arrival of 18 ballot boxes from Seaward Primary. The Constituted Authority has 2 weeks to decide. A cancellation of the results could mean a rerun of the election in St Andrew West Central. In other news, a suspect is in custody following the shooting death of 18-year-old Jada Pollard, a sixth-form student of the Queen's School. Police say about 1:40 a.m. on Monday, a gunman forced his way into Pollard's Smoky Vale home in St Andrew, confronting her mother and robbing her of a handbag. The mother's cries for help brought Miss Pollard from her room. The teen was shot in the head and later pronounced dead at hospital. Head of the St Andrew North Police, Superintendent Randy Sweeney, confirmed the arrest but said investigations are ongoing. The murder has plunged classmates and the Smoky Vale community into mourning, with friends remembering Miss Pollard as humble, sweet and deeply loved. Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon has described the incident as an unspeakable tragedy, sending condolences to Pollard's family, friends and school community. A trauma team was dispatched to the Queen's School to provide counseling support. Chinese workers on the Western Children and Adolescent Hospital project in Montego Bay, St. James, staged a brief protest on Wednesday, withdrawing their services over payment concerns. The workers mounted a placard reading, "Need money, no work," before leaving for their nearby residence, where they later declined to comment. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton noted that the project, a gift from the Chinese government, is being managed by China, including contractual and payment arrangements. Law enforcement agents recently raided the St Andrew apartment of a journalist as part of what investigators describe as a massive money laundering probe. Police sources say the case centers on alleged manipulation of national commercial bank stocks to drive down share prices. Outgoing Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn has bid farewell after a 17-year tenure and 41 years in public service, calling it the privilege of her life. At the opening of the Michaelmas legal term on Tuesday, Ms. Llewellyn reflected on her historic appointment in 2008 as the first woman and youngest DPP. She highlighted her role in high-profile cases such as the Christopher Dudus-Coke extradition and pointed to modernization under her leadership, including digital case management and expanded staff capacity.
It has been a great pleasure. And along the way, I also didn't do too badly as a mother. As hard as I worked, because it's well known that I'm a workaholic, my daughter has done well. So I must have done something right. But to my successor, I wish all the very best.
Up to Friday, Jamaica had 8 medals to be ranked 6th on the medal table of the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. The medal haul so far includes 1 gold, 4 silver and 3 bronze. Jamaica won gold in the men's 100-meter final with Oblique Seville, who finished ahead of compatriot Kishane Thompson, who grabbed silver. Tina Clayton picked up silver in the women's equivalent. Tajay Gale finished second in the men's long jump. In the men's 110-meter hurdles, Jamaica won silver and bronze through Orlando Bennett and Tyler Mason, respectively. Bryan and Shericka Jackson took bronze in their 200-meter finals. The championships will end on Sunday. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Follow us on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner, and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on our YouTube page, turn on your notifications, and subscribe today. I'm Joven Johnson.